IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you live from beautiful Budapest here in Hungary. I hope everybody is having a great weekend so far. Hi Laxmi, Karki, hi Flower Sun. Nice to see students joining in on time. This lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there. That's academicenglishhelp.com. And for the general version, check us out at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have loads of great materials for you, including original practice exams, interactive lessons with strategies and tips, as well as over 100 hours of video lessons with myself and other IELTS expert teachers. Hi, Violet Nguyen. Hi, Harbinder. Nice to see many more students coming into the class. Let's take a look at those websites just super fast while we're waiting for a few more students. This is aehelp.com here with the blue background. Click that big red button to join our premium package. And you get a My Student account with all of those goodies. Hi, Carolina. Hi, Rajveer. Good to see members in the class. This is the general version of the website at gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button to join us there. Hi, Shruti. If you have questions, students, you can always send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. And also download our apps and link them to your web account. So the websites and the apps, they link together for a really nice learning experience. Our apps are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. So you can get that from Google Play and Apple App Stores. Students, we're doing reading today, so we are going to get right into this. This is reading passage 1 from our exam number 6. And it starts with a list of headings questions. I see many students asking me how I'm doing. I got over kind of a cold, but I'm doing great now. Thank you for asking. Okay, so list of headings questions. Fine, we'll read those in just a moment. But first of all, we'll read the title of this reading passage. Let's take a look at that. It says, Battle for the World's Tallest Building. Okay, so make sure you read with me. When you read the title, Battle for the World's Tallest Building, you can paraphrase that. So competition for the planet's highest building or highest skyscraper, I'm sure. Many of you are probably thinking Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world currently. Okay, great. Then we do a little bit of critical thinking, right? So what is this battle for the world's highest building? So what does that mean? What is battle for the world's tallest building? In your mind, what does that mean? This will help you predict this reading passage and will help you understand it as a result. So always read the title, visualize. Here, maybe see the Burj Khalifa. Right? And then ask what, why, how. That's critical thinking. So the example here is what is the battle for the tallest building? Not what is the tallest building, what is the battle for the tallest building? Okay. Answer. Mahesh says it's competition with other buildings. Which one is the highest building in the world, says Rajveer. Paya says many countries want to stay in the first position as having the highest building. Yeah, very good. Carolina says fighting for who is the tallest. Yeah, competition, often national or international, I should say, right? The whole world. So competition, often international, for having the highest Structure or skyscraper in the world? Yeah, sure. And again, be specific, okay? Be as specific as you can be when you're thinking about this. So, what is the battle for the tallest building? Competition, often international, for having the highest structure skyscraper in the world. Woohoo! All right. Why? Why do you think people do that? So, why do we spend billions and billions of dollars? So, why compete? Okay, this is our second question. Why compete for having the tallest building? Is it because we're crazy? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. So why do it? Donaire says because it makes you famous. Rajveer says it attracts tourists from around the world. So for fame and fortune, yeah, to attract tourists. Let's see if anybody comes up with some other. Carolina says ego. Yeah, why not? As an ego boost, to boost ego, right? So people can be like, yes, 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 I have the highest building in the world. Ego boost, yeah, absolutely, Carolina, I agree with you. Anything else? Yeah, Pavan is saying, hey, less surface area, more number of people to accommodate. So to house a great number of people in a small area. Okay, sure. That makes sense. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it as the world becomes more and more populated. And hey, think about it. If you are an investor and you buy 50 square meter or 100 square meter lot in the city, you want to build as high as possible, right? All right. Anybody else? One that comes to mind, I don't quite see it, but I think it's true, is technological advancement, right? Did anybody write that? To prove engineering and technological advancement. I mean, it takes a lot of engineering and technology to build these really high buildings and to build them higher than ever before. So it's also a proof of our advanced human civilization. Yeah, and I can see some of you writing that now. So what are some examples? So when you think of the how, you should think of some examples. And we already said Burj Khalifa. I'm sure many of you are thinking that. What are some of the other highest buildings in the world, especially historically? Like, what was the highest building before the Burj Khalifa? What was the highest building 1,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago? So think about that. So what are some examples of humans building to the sky and reaching the sky? Edonator says the Empire Tower. It's called the Empire State Building, Edonator. So Empire State Building in New York. Yeah, that was a high building or the highest for a long time. Peya says the Eiffel Tower. World Trade Center. Yeah, World Trade Center. Eiffel Tower. Our example. Javelin says the pyramids. Pachu says the CN, not CNN, it's the CN Tower in Canada. Yeah, CN Tower in my homeland. CN Tower in Canada, absolutely. And Jaylon says pyramids. Okay, good, great. So students, you've done a fantastic job. You're thinking about it, good. Now we look at the questions, okay? So again, this reading is Battle for the World's Tallest Building. We quickly thought about what and why and how. Now we have a picture in our head, and we are much more ready to read this information in some challenging English. List of headings. What do? I read it. I paraphrase while reading. You should always try to paraphrase list of headings as you read, at home, on paper, in the exam, in your head. What's another way to say controversial designation? Can somebody tell me? So you read this at home, you do a little arrow in your paper, and then you write your paraphrase. Again, in the exam, you quickly do it in your head and you move on. Don't get stuck on it. So what's another way to write controversial designation? Okay. Mahesh says criticism. Yeah, criticism's okay, Mahesh. It's not bad. What else? How can I say this in another way? Controversial designation. If you don't know, at home, you should use a dictionary or a thesaurus to come up with synonyms for controversial designation. Make sure you learn new words like this when you're practicing at home if you're not sure. Okay? So Rajveer says an argumentative designation. Yeah, arguable is okay. Another way to say it is debatable. Debatable. Designation means name or naming. In this case, okay? When you designate, when you give an item or an object a name, you designate the name, okay? Disagreement is okay. Reshma says, how about disagreement? Perfect, that works, okay? Industrial Revolution, age of factories. All right. Building in space or buildings in space. Outworldly structures. Okay. There's always a way to paraphrase. Space is off-world or outworldly. Buildings or structures. Fast and impressive. Quick and amazing. All right. So that's what you do with these list of headings is you try to paraphrase them as much as you can, as quickly as you can, on paper at home when you're practicing and during the IELTS in your head. Hope that makes sense. Why? Because in the passage, you will likely not see these exact words. You're going to see some other forms or some paraphrases. Okay? All right. So we do that, and we remember to answer these questions as we read, right? Okay. So we're going to do this together. I'm going to show you how to tackle these questions in just a moment. Let's look at the other questions. So here we have some yes, no, not given. We don't worry about these because there can be false and confusing information, so we skip these questions. Okay, we don't look at those questions yet. Here we have some multiple choice questions. For multiple choice, we only read the question. What was the world's tallest building in 1960? Okay. After the mid-20th century, what was the highest structure on the planet? Try to paraphrase again in your head. Don't read the options because they can confuse you. Okay, just the question. What, according to some commentators, is the difference between buildings and structures? Which statement best summarizes the message of the passage? And that's it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's answer these together. Remember, list of headings is the only one that you answer while you read. So students, let's do it. This is following from yesterday's lesson that we had with the members, the reading lesson. Okay, read with me and then we'll answer. So battle for the world's tallest building. The desire to construct taller and taller structures has been a part of human culture for at least 4,500 years, dating back to ancient Egypt and through the modern day. The construction of tall structures has mirrored advances in technology, logistics, and engineering. Today, the world's tallest buildings are landmarks, tourist attractions, and points of civic and national pride for residents. Woohoo! What do I do? What do I do now? And I love how some of you were paraphrasing while we were doing those list of headings. So what do I do now? I want to get a high band score in this passage. What's my next step? I read this paragraph. What do I do? And I'm hoping some students, especially members that were in yesterday's class, will quickly give me the correct answer, because this is what we talked about yesterday. So what should I do? I visualized this. I maybe understood it 60%. Yeah, very good, Carolina. So Carolina says, ask yourself, what is this paragraph about? Rajveer, very good, yeah. So ask and answer, of course, right? So what is this paragraph about? And what is it about, Rajveer and Carolina? Students, what is it about? What is this paragraph about? Don't just jump to the question, because that's not going to help you. You'll get easily confused. You have to use your brain first, then the questions. Okay? Yeah, so Shabsan says, give a title for the paragraph. You do that by asking, what is the paragraph about? So Marsh says, make your own heading. Yeah, absolutely. What's the best answer? What is this paragraph about? Kiran says it's past and present, but past and present of what, Kiran? It's more important than that, or it's more detailed than that. Rajveer says it's the importance of the tallest building in ancient and modern times. Okay, I like that, Rajveer. So Rajveer says importance of tall buildings in ancient and modern times. Carolina says buildings over time, but Carolina, it's more specific than that, because it's not just any buildings, but tall buildings over time, right, Carolina? So, and Mahesh, same thing, importance of tall buildings over time, right? So, over time or throughout history, right? That's what it's about. It's importance of tall buildings over time or throughout history. Take a look. So don't let me convince you. Let the paragraph do that. The desire, the want to construct, to build taller and taller structures has been a part of human culture for at least 4,500 years. It introduces that right there. And then it explains it. In ancient Egypt through to modern day, construction of tall structures has mirrored advances. So this and this are actually quite close paraphrases as well, right? Okay. So definitely when I ask myself, what is this paragraph about? My answer is it's the importance, or it's this desire or want of tall buildings over time or throughout history. Okay? Always work hard to give a complete answer of what the paragraph is about. All right, so now which one of these is the closest match? So which of the Roman numerals here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, do you think is the closest match to importance of tall buildings over time? E. Donator says it's got to be a part of human history. Yeah? So tall buildings, a part of human history. I think that's quite good. And Latifa, Harsh, and Sabsan all agree that it's 7. So it sounds like a good pick. Absolutely. Carolina agrees as well. Usually students, if you look at the majority choice, especially after I've explained like that, then you know it's the right one. So paragraph A is 7. Okay? Okay. Sounds good. Let's keep going. Same way. Paragraph B. Read with me. Ancient Egyptians believed that to be closer to the sky was to be closer to the realm of the gods and afterlife. While regular Egyptians had to settle for burial in the ground, the pharaohs got to be entombed much closer to the sky in purpose-built pyramids. The world's first truly high structures, the Great Pyramid of Giza, was built in approximately 2560 BCE for the burial of the pharaoh Khufu. Reaching a height of 481 feet at the time of construction, the Great Pyramid was the tallest structure in the world for almost 4,000 years. Okay, so same thing. What is this paragraph about? Give me an answer. So what is paragraph B about? What is paragraph B about? Give me a nice full answer. I'm sure many of you are thinking pyramid, but maybe you can give me a little bit more. Okay? So Salam says the history of ancient Egyptian tallest building, the pyramid. Salam, that's good. Salam Karam says ancient Egyptian tallest building, the pyramid. Yeah, Rajveer, very good. Example of an old tallest structure, the pyramid, right? Donator, ancient tallest building. Nice, good logic, students. Logic will carry you a long way in the IELTS exam. So an ancient, super tall structure, the pyramid. Yeah, all right. That looks pretty good. So if I go back, then which one is the closest match? Give me the right number. And this is how we do it. Nice and smooth, step by step. We use our own brain first. We come up with accurate ideas, good logic, and then we choose the closest one. Donator says it's got to be 10 tall structures of the ancient world. What is that? Tall structure of the ancient world is the pyramid, right? Sure, that seems to be correct. Absolutely, right? Okay, and lo and behold, it is. It's the one that's given to us as an example, X, right? So now we're sure that we're using good logic. Testing your logic on the IELTS exam is a great idea. Let's keep going. Paragraph C. Okay, read with me nice and loud. It wasn't until the year 1310 CE and the construction of the Lincoln Cathedral in England that the height of the Great Pyramid was surpassed at 525 feet. It was only slightly taller. Throughout the period from 1311 to 1880, the title of world's tallest building changed hands a number of times through both destruction and construction, but each structure was a European church. Interestingly, the world's tallest building from 1647 to 1874, the Strasbourg Cathedral in France, was actually shorter than the original height of the Great Pyramid. Standing 469 feet, the cathedral was approximately 13 feet taller than the Great Pyramid's contemporary height, which had been reduced 35 feet from its original stature by erosion. Okay, what is this paragraph about? Yoya says, I'm Egyptian. That's cool, Yoya. I'm jealous. I'd love to see the pyramids. Haven't seen them yet. So what is this paragraph talking about? Paragraph C. Again, just like that, step by step. You read it, you ask, you give a complete answer. What is paragraph C about? Now think of the whole paragraph here, hint, hint. It's the title of the world's tallest building in a certain time, sure. Fight for the, okay, largest structure. Salam says, historical look of the Middle Ages, Europe's tallest structures. Yeah. Okay, I would say it's the tallest buildings in the Middle Ages, which are churches. Okay, that would be my answer. Tallest buildings in the Middle Ages, which are churches. Why? I'll show you that, okay? So summarize here, right? So notice the dates, 1311 to 1880. 1647 to 1874. So this is what I would call the Middle Ages. A historian would say I'm probably nuts. That's not the Middle Ages. But I'm going to call that more modern history and the Middle Ages, okay? And then I look here and I go, okay, the Lincoln Cathedral, that's a church, okay? And then it says, throughout the period from 1311, the title of world's tallest building changed through both destruction. Each structure was a European church. Okay. Strasbourg Cathedral in France. It's another church. Okay. The word cathedral again. It's the church again. Okay. So that's what I'm identifying as the title there. That's my logic. And what do you think is my best choice from these numbers here from 1 to 11? What do you think is the best choice then? When you see the same word repeat over and over and over again, like cathedral and church, in a paragraph, you have to be careful. So a lot of you are saying, okay, it's going to be the reign of the churches. Yeah, the reign means that they are in the winning position, okay? So the rain, it's not rain. Look, so this is rain, like, when it's raining outside and there's water droplets coming from the clouds, okay? So that's rain, R-A-I-N. This is the same sound, okay? So it's a homonym, but it's a different meaning, okay? So rain, like this, means to rule, to be on the top, in a leader position, to lead. Okay, so same pronunciation, rain, rain. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, means to rule. And yeah, that's a good choice. I would pick that. The word church comes up. Now, careful, look under here. It says the Strasbourg Cathedral. That's just an example. That's too much detail. Okay? This is the more accurate answer, number 5. So, I indicate number 5 in my answer booklet, and I move on to paragraph D. Let's do that together. Okay? So remember this, rain, rain, same pronunciation, different spelling. Rain, where there's water falling from the sky, it has an R, an A, an I, and an N. This one has an E-I-G-N, okay? So keep that in mind. All right. Let's keep going. Paragraph D. Again, read with me. Don't just listen. It's not a listening lesson. It's a reading lesson. Read together. 1884 marked the first time the world's tallest building stood in North America. The Washington Monument, standing 555 feet in Washington, D.C., is also the world's tallest obelisk and tallest all-stone structure. During this period, engineers and architects were reaping the fruits of the 19th century's Industrial Revolution, which led to accelerating advances in construction, engineering, and technology. In 1989, the Eiffel Tower was completed and stood as the world's tallest building at 986 feet for over 40 years. Okay, what is this paragraph about? So this paragraph is coming into more modern times, and it's talking about the Washington, D.C. monument, the obelisk. Obelisk is the symbol of Ra, the sun god from Egypt, right? It looks like that. Okay, so that's an obelisk. And then it talks about the Eiffel Tower, and it says, during this period, engineers and architects were reaping the fruits of 19th century's Industrial Revolution. Okay, so what is this about? Abhi Raval says it's about technology and industry and advancements. Saminder Kaur agrees, technological advancements in the 19th century. Burhat Munib says industrial revolution. Rasor says revolution in technology. Okay, that looks like everybody's kind of following that same logic. So I'm happy that none of you are saying, oh, it's about America or it's about France or something like that. Let's look at which one is the closest match. So which one of these do you think matches the best for paragraph D? Controversial designation, the Industrial Revolution, buildings in space, fast and impressive, the reign of the churches, Strasbourg Cathedral, part of human history, technology, logistics, engineering, the industrial acceleration, tall structures of the ancient world looking towards the future. Okay, I see a lot of 2s and I see some 9s. Okay, well, let's take a look at some of the ones that seem correct. Okay, the Industrial Revolution, that seems like it's correct, maybe. Okay, I think even number 8, technology, logistics, and engineering, maybe. Okay, and the industrial acceleration, that one looks good as well. Now, your question is, which of these 3 best summarizes this paragraph? Which one best summarizes? So which is the best? Okay, in the IELTS, that's a very important question because sometimes you have multiple possible choices, but for Band 8, Band 9, you have to choose the best one. And I would say the best one is number 9 because it includes the idea of industry and industrial technology and acceleration. So building greater and greater buildings fast. Notice why. Okay, so again, industrial acceleration is the most accurate answer. When we look at D, it says during this period, engineers and architects were reaping the fruits of the 19th century's Industrial Revolution, which led to accelerating advances in construction. There's that piece. So you have industry and you have acceleration. Okay? So 9 is a better answer than 2. 2 is not bad, but 9 is better. Okay? You always have to choose the best answer. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep reading. E. The designation of the world's tallest building returned to the United States in 1932 with the construction of the 1,250-foot Empire State Building in New York City, one of the incredible architectural achievements of the 20th century. It was completed in just over a year, an astonishing pace. The first building in the world to boast over 100 stories, the Empire State Building stood as the world's tallest for 36 years. What is this paragraph about? So what is paragraph E about? What is paragraph E about? The largest building in the second or in the 20th century. Empire State Building history. So the Empire State Building is amazing. That's what I would say. Okay. So again, I'm Canadian, not American. So don't think I'm super patriotic here. But there's no doubt that the Empire State Building is amazing. That's what this paragraph is about. Okay. Mitesh Prajapati says an architectural achievement, an architectural wonder. Rajveer says the quick construction of the tallest structure in the 20th century. Rajveer, careful. 20th century. Okay, in the 1900s, that's 20th century. Azima says, surprise, it's a huge, amazing 100-story building. Okay, yeah, so I think many of you are getting the right idea. Which one is the correct answer? Which one of these is the most accurate to the amazing, quickly built Empire State Building? It's unlikely that they're going to give you the choice of the Empire State Building. That would be too easy. You don't need good English to figure that one out. So which one do you think is the right answer? All right, many of you are saying 4, fast and impressive. Yeah, impressive is amazing, right? Amazing. And in fact, it's not amazing in the paragraph, but in the paragraph it's astonishing, right? So I believe that's the word that they use. Yeah. So it says, and astonishing. Astonishing is another way to say impressive, amazing, incredible. Okay. All right. Good, good, good. So 4 is the right answer. Let's keep going with F. Read with me. After domination by Egypt, Western Europe, and the United States in 1975 saw Toronto, Canada's CN Tower steal away the designation of world's tallest with a height of 1,815 feet. Over a third of a mile high, the CN Tower was the world's tallest for 32 years. This designation is disputed by some academics as they believe a building must be inhabited or be worked in order to count as a building. The CN Tower is neither worked nor lived in, though it does have an observation deck. So while it was unambiguously the world's tallest structure during this period, opinions differ on whether it was the world's tallest building. 2007 clarified any debate there was concerning the designation. With the construction of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, it became undoubtedly the world's tallest structure and building, standing 2,722 feet, precisely 50% higher than the CN Tower. The Burj Khalifa soars over half a mile into the sky. What is this paragraph about? Srijit S. Babu says it's a dispute to identify the tallest building. Pavan says it's a controversial designation maybe, but Pavan, always give your own answer first, okay? Salam says it's a debate about the CN Tower. Okay, good. All right. Let's see. So which one of these answers is the best to summarize this paragraph, what this paragraph is about? Dicey SPP says the Burj Khalifa is amazing. Absolutely, I agree. Latifa says, is the building in Canada a structure or a building? Ferdov says, arguably the tallest building. So the best answer here is, and I can see many of you giving it already, a controversial designation. So are we talking about the tallest building or the tallest structure. So yeah, that's the correct answer, number 1. Very nice. Good job. All right, let's keep going. Last paragraph. So the answer there was number 1. So all of you picked number 1. You're correct, okay? It's number 1, controversial designation. All right, G, here we go. Last paragraph. Where do we go from here? What heights will buildings of the future reach? Will we one day construct buildings that reach into space? While the impetus for the construction of taller and taller buildings may no longer be proximity to the gods, the desire to touch the sky with our creations remains. What is this conclusion about? So, where do we go from here? Buildings into space. We no longer build these buildings to be closer to God, but we build them yet. What is it about? Abdul Rahman Hamdi says it's about the future. The future. The future of buildings, the future. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Sounds like we're talking about the future or theorizing about the future. Okay. So which one do you think is the closest to that? Yeah, which one do you think? Which one is about the future here? It is number 11. Yeah, always use the Roman numerals. So XI, I saw a couple of you accidentally write 10. So be very careful, okay? Students, use the Roman numeral X1 in your answer sheet. Okay, if you write 10, you'll get that wrong. It's obviously not 10. This is Roman numeral number 11. Okay, so 11 it is. 11 it is. Looking towards the future. Good. Looking pretty, everyone. Looking pretty. All right, let's go and answer these yes, no, not given questions. Number 7, the Great Pyramid was the world's tallest building for over 4,000 years. Is it important to know this information? Yes. So therefore it's given. Can't be not given. Is it true or false? I'm very careful when I read these questions, okay? Tallest building for over 4,000 years. This is a key word here, over, okay? If I'm not sure, under or over, does anybody remember? Under or over? Be very, very, very careful with these prepositions in your true, false, not givens, okay, students? Was it over or under? Less than 4,000 years or more than 4,000 years? Rajveer says, I have to look at the passage. Rajveer, I do too. So I'm going to quickly look at that. Okay, and I remember it was B, right? And I see 4,000 years here. So here we go. Reaching a height of 481 feet at the time of the construction, the Great Pyramid was the tallest structure in the world for almost 4,000 years. So almost 4,000 years, is it over or under? It's under. That's right, Carolina. Sub-sun. It's under. Yeah. Careful with these, students. Careful with these questions. Don't rush. Okay? Slow and steady wins the race. Okay? Don't rush it. All right? So, number 7 is no. This does not agree with the author because it was under that time. It's number 8. So, no. All right. Erosion caused the Strasbourg Cathedral to lose some of its height. Erosion caused the Strasbourg Cathedral to lose some of its height. Erosion means like rain and wind. Is it important for this passage to know whether the Strasbourg Cathedral lost some of its height because of rain and wind? No. It's not important, so it's not given. Okay? The Washington Monument is the world's tallest all-stone obelisk. I remember reading about the Washington Monument. Is it important to know whether it's the tallest all-stone obelisk? Yeah, because it was the tallest structure at one time. So this is important. So it's given. Okay, is it true or false? I think it's true. I quite clearly remember reading that it's the world's tallest all-stone obelisk. So I'm going to go with a yes on that. Okay, I'm not going to check. All right. The Eiffel Tower took over 40 years to build. Is it important to know how long the Eiffel Tower took to build? Now, I remember that the passage talked about the Empire State Building because it was built in just 1 year, so it was fast and amazing. But do you think the author would talk about how quickly each of these buildings was built? No, I don't think so. Okay? Not given. So don't confuse yourself. All right? Empire State Building, yeah, it said it only took 1 year to build it. It was super fast. I don't know how long the Eiffel Tower took, but I doubt it took 40 years. And I don't remember visualizing that information. Did any of you see in your mind, did any of you see like this, oh, beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, 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 Eiffel Tower being built. Oh, and it's taking 40 years to do it. Did anybody see that? I didn't see that in my head. Did you see that in your head? Probably not, right? Hope not. Otherwise, you're imagining information. Okay, so far so good. Multiple choice works very, very similarly to list of headings. Okay. Dicey SPB, if you put T or F instead of true or false, it's totally okay. If you put T or F instead of no and yes, then you're in trouble. But if you put T and F instead of true and false, that's totally fine. Okay, so here we go. Write the correct letter in boxes 11 to 13 on your answer sheet. What was the world's tallest building in 1960? Empire State Building. That's my answer. Hopefully it's yours as well. Empire State Building, yeah. A. Okay. It says it was completed in 1960. I remember that because that's such a nice number, 1960. So, Empire State Building. Okay. If you don't know, then search for this number. Okay. Now, remember that this passage, it starts in ancient times with the pyramids, right? Pyramid. Then it goes to the churches. Then it goes to Eiffel Tower maybe, or yeah, Eiffel. Or sorry, not Eiffel, but Empire State Building. Then it goes to the CN Tower. Then it goes to the Burj Khalifa. So hopefully most of you did have this kind of visualization in your head where you saw the pyramids, then you saw the churches, then you saw the Empire State Building with all of its floors, then you saw the CN Tower in Toronto, and then you saw the Burj Khalifa. Okay, hopefully that's totally not what it looks like, but anyway, okay? So you should have had that kind of chronological vision in your head. So if I have to search for 1960, I know that it comes kind of later in the passage, and I will find Empire State Building, okay? Okay, what, according to some commentators, is the difference between buildings and structures? I remember this because it was so interesting. Buildings for living or work. So that's my answer. Hopefully something matches. Buildings are made of different materials? No. Buildings were constructed after 1932? I hope not. Buildings are designed for people to spend time in. Okay, that kind of Seems like it, because living or working, you spend time in it. Buildings have observation decks. No. So C, I think, is the best answer here. Right? So again, the trick for multiple choice students is don't start searching for the answers before you think about the answer. Always think about the answer first. And I can see that Karan, Firdavs, Violet Nguyen, Raman, you're all on the right track. They're inhabited. They're habitable. We live in them or work in them. Okay? All right. 13, which statement best summarizes the message of the passage? Okay, even this one, which statement best summarizes the message? So my answer here would be people really love building taller and taller structures for the last 4,000 years for many reasons, okay? Humans have an inexplicable desire to build towards the sky. That looks pretty good. Humans will always build higher and higher because they want to get closer to the gods. No, because it started that way, but it didn't finish that way. Human engineering mirrors the height of buildings throughout history. It's kind of true, but it doesn't say that. It is human nature to seek knowledge. That's too general. So I'm going to go with A on this one, maybe. Okay. So humans have an inexplicable desire to build towards the sky. So I think A is maybe the best answer. All right. And that's it. So we're done. And that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you go through a reading passage effectively. Now, we took 50 minutes to do that, but if I'm not explaining and talking about all of these details and I'm doing this nice and smoothly in my head, you can do it in 20. Okay? And you'll get all these answers correct. Students, for lots more videos and help with your IELTS exam, to get original practice exams, real strategies developed by psychologists for the IELTS exam, visit and join us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Okay, those websites, they look like this. This is general. Click that big red button to join the premium package. And this is the academic. Click that red button to join us there. Thank you for joining me in this class. I hope you picked up some valuable information, and I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow for Task 2 essay writing for members, followed by Speaking Part 3 practice and strategy, where everybody can chat. You're very welcome, Rajveer. Welcome, Pavan. Carolina, push forward, okay? Just keep going forward. You're brilliant. Much love to all of you from the heart of Europe, beautiful Budapest. Bye for now.